Understanding the Excel interface. Excel is a powerful tool, but to use it effectively, you first need to understand its interface. Think of Excel like a workspace. If you know where everything is, you can work faster and more efficiently. Opening Excel and exploring the start screen. When you first open Excel, you will see the start screen, which provides options to open a blank workbook, a new spreadsheet. If Excel is set to open directly to a blank workbook like this interface, you can access the start screen anytime by clicking File and clicking on this new. Then this start screen will appear on your screen. The Excel interface, key components. Once inside Excel, the start screen is divided into several important sections. The ribbon, Excel's control panel. This section or the area is called the ribbon, and this is divided into these tabs that we will explore throughout this course. The ribbon is a top toolbar that organizes Excel's functions into tabs. As I have already mentioned, these tabs have different functionalities that will be explored one by one. Home tab. Formatting, fonts, alignment, and basic tools can be found in this section of this tab. Insert tab. Adding charts, tables, images, and other elements. For that, we just need to use this Insert tab. Page Layout tab. Adjusting margins. Here you can see orientation and print setting as well. Formulas tab. Accessing built-in functions and calculations, you need to use this tab. And here you can see all these functions are already built in the Excel software that can be used as per the requirement and need of your worksheet that you're working on. Data tab. Sorting, filtering, and managing large data sets, you need to use this tab. Review tab. Spell check, comments, and track changes, you need to use this tab, as you have spell check, thesaurus, and check accessibility as well. You can translate the text as well. So these are all the functions that can be used in Review tab. View tab. Adjusting how your spreadsheet is displayed, you can use this tab like normal or page break preview, page layout. You can customize the views as well, and you can zoom and all these functions as well. So this is how the view tab is appeared on this Excel worksheet. The formula bar located below the ribbon. Here you can see this section is called the formula bar. The formula bar is where you enter and edit data or formulas. Like you can use the cells as well, but if you want to add a formula or the value of for this cell, you can just use this. Like you can say I just want to enter a value as, for example, I just want to write in here as first lecture. So you can see this has been displayed as well, but we can use this formula bar as well. And to use formulas, you can use this section for that. The worksheet area. This is where you enter and organize data. Rows are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Columns are labeled as A, B, C, D, E, and so on, as much as you need. The intersection of rows and columns is called the cell. For example, the first one is A1 and the second one will be B1. But if you are working on columns, then this cell will be called A2 and this cell will be called B2. So this is how they are intersected. Each workbook contains multiple worksheets, which you can see as tabs at the bottom. For example, I just want another sheet in this file and I'll just press this plus icon. Here you can see you have another sheet and you can organize all the data in one file. And you can rename that as well. For example, I just want this to be renamed as attendance. And the second one should be the salary. So this is how you can rename the tabs as well. And you can add as many tabs as you want. And you can just drag this if you want to organize it as well. So this is how you can use this quick access toolbar. Located at the top left, here you can see the quick access toolbar allows you to pin frequently used commands such as the save, undo, redo, and all the other options that can be shown. If you click on this little drop down menu, then you can just check any of these if you want it, and if you don't want any of these, you can just uncheck that. For example, I just don't want a spell check anymore and I'll just uncheck that and that icon or quick access toolbar was, and that icon has been removed as I don't need that anymore. So this is how you can customize the quick access toolbar as well. Status bar. The status bar at the bottom, here you can see this is called the status bar. It shows real-time calculations like sums and averages for selected cells. It also allows you to switch between view modes, normal view, page layout. And here you can see this is the normal view, this is page layout, and this is page break preview. And you can just zoom in and zoom out by using these buttons as well. And if you want to use any of the predefined zoom options, then you can just click on any of these. If you want 75%, we'll click on that, and this will be zoomed out. And if you want to zoom in a little more, then you can just use this one, and everything will look a little bigger as you want it to be. But is 100% is a formal view, and it should be in this interface at the start. So this is how you can use this. Customizing the Excel interface. You can adjust Excel's interface to match your workflow. Minimize the ribbon. Click the small arrow here at the top right to collapse it. For example, I just don't want all these icons anymore. To have more workspace area, I'll just click on this. Here you can see that every tab has been vanished, but if I want them back, I just go click on this, and I just want show tabs only. And here you can see the icons are not visible right now, but if I click on any tab, for example, I click on home, then the icons will appear. And if I just click on any cell, then those icons will be gone, as I don't want to see them, as I just don't want them to visible, as I want more screen area to have more data shown in the screen. But if I want everything back, I just click on it and click on the show tabs and commands as well. I'll click on that and everything will be shown. Even we are working on worksheet as well. So this is how you can just customize the interface. Add commands to quick access toolbar. Well, I just click on it, and here is the option called more commands. As you have more options to add as a quick access toolbar. For example, I just want to add an insert table, and I just click on that and press OK. Here you can see I have an option called create a table as well. And if I just don't want it anymore, I'll just click on it, click on that, remove, press OK. Here you can see that icon has been removed. So this is how you can customize the quick access toolbar as well. Change view setting. Switch to page layout view for printing previews, or zoom in or zoom out for large data sets. For example, I just want to go page layout. I'll click on that. Here you can see this is a preview that how the page will be printed, and this is how it looks if I just want it in a single page. Customizing these settings improves efficiency, helping you work faster. Creating, opening, and saving workbooks. Welcome back. In our previous lecture, we have learned the Excel interface and how its different components help you navigate the software. Now that you are familiar with the layout, it's time to take the next step, working with workbooks. A workbook is where all your data lives in Excel. Every project you work on in Excel, whether it's a simple budget tracker or a complex data analysis, starts with a workbook. Knowing how to create, open, and save workbooks properly ensure that your work is organized, easily accessible, and safe from accidental loss. Creating a new workbook. When you first launch Excel, you will see the start screen, which gives you the options to open an existing file from here or using this open. Choose a pre-made template for a specific task, like from this, and you can use more templates as well. And create a blank workbook. This is what we will focus on today by using this one. Creating a workbook from the start screen. For that, we'll just open Excel. Here you can see this interface appears at the start screen. Click blank workbook to start fresh by using this one. And this interface appears. A new empty worksheet appears ready for data entry. Creating a workbook from an open session. If you are already working in Excel and want to start a new workbook, you will just click on File in the top left corner, select New, then choose Blank Workbook. This one. A new untitled workbook will open. Opening an existing workbook. If you need to open a workbook you have already created, Excel makes it easy. Opening a recent file. For that, we'll just click on File, click on Open, and here you can see you can just open a recently opened file as well, and you can browse if you have already saved that file to a specific location or an external drive, or you can use OneDrive as well if you have already uploaded on the cloud storage. Under recent, you will see a list of files you have worked on like this one. Click the one you need. For example, I just want this one, orders with nulls. As you can see, I have worked on this worksheet and this was saved on my PC, and I can just open it by using this feature that we have already discussed. Browsing for a file. If the file is not listed under recent, like in here, if the file is not present in here, we'll click on this file. Okay, we'll just go back and click on this file, click on open, and click on browse. If we have saved that file to a specific location that is not present in here, and we just click on browse. These are all the files that we have already saved in this PC into a specific folder, and you can use any of these by just clicking on this and press open. Here you can see this file has been opened. As you can just edit it by enabling editing, and you can just start working on that worksheet as well. So this is how you can browse a file in Microsoft Excel. Opening a shared or online file. If your file is stored on OneDrive or Google Drive, we'll just click on File, press Open, and you can just click on OneDrive. If you have saved the files to a specific folder, then we'll just go in that. As we have not saved any file in the online storage, but you can just access it by using this process. Saving a workbook. Saving a work is crucial. You don't want to lose your data. Excel offers multiple ways to save a file, depending on how you plan to use it. Saving for the first time, using Save As. If it's a new workbook and you just want to save it, for example, I just want to create a new file, new one, and I just want to use a template by using any of these. For example, I just want to go with monthly budget and click on create. So this is a file that I really want to save and start working on it. Click on Save As. Browse a location where I want this file to be saved. Click on Browse, and I just want to save on desktop. Here I can just rename that as well. For example, I just want to rename as monthly budget 2025. So this is how you can just save that file. Now you can see this shows that this file has been saved with the name of this one. Saving updates to an existing file. Save. If you have already saved your workbook once and just need to update it, for example, I just want to update this data by pressing F2. For example, I just want to add, if you have already saved your workbook once and just need to update it, you just go to the file. First of all, I just want to update this as phone to internet. Here you can see I just have updated it, but it is not updated or saved unless or until I just go to this file, click on save. So now this file has been saved. Or you can use shortcut as Ctrl+S if you're using Windows and Command+S if you're using Mac. Excel will override the previous version with your changes. Saving in different formats. Sometimes you need to share your file in a different format. For that, we'll just go to this file, click on Save As, browse a location, and here's the option called Save As Type. We'll click on this drop-down menu, and here are the multiple options we can use to save this file as. For example, I just want to save this file as Excel Workbook, which is the default extension .xlsx, and I have another one as Excel SM if your workbook contains macros, automated tasks. For example, this one. The next we have PDF. If you need to share your workbook as a read-only file, for that I just use this .pdf extension for exporting data to other programs, for example, databases or websites. So, for example, I just want to go with PDF. We'll click on that and we will just save. And now that file has been saved and we can just open it. Here you can see that Excel file has been downloaded as .pdf extension, as here you can see that. So this is how you can convert this Excel file to any format that to be saved as. Entering data, text, numbers, and dates. Entering data may seem simple, but mistakes such as formatting errors, misplaced decimal points, or incorrect date entries can lead to miscalculations and inaccurate reports. Entering text data. Text data consists of letters, symbols, or alphanumeric characters that do not require mathematical calculations. Example includes names, address, product descriptions, or labels. For example, I have four columns and I'll just insert table. For that, click on here and I just rename that as name, address, profession, and age. Okay, for that, we just have an example of John Doe. Address has been copied in here. I'm just clicking that. Profession. Profession could be like marketing expert. And we'll just double click on that. And the age is 25. So here you can see we have the alphanumerics of address, and this is a text and this is a number. So this data is called the text data as it has diverse types like numbers, names, and the age as well. For that, to make it a little formal, we'll just go with Arial font. Click on that, just bold everything, and we'll just double click on that, double click on that. So here you can see we have entered a one entry which is name, address, profession, and age. So this is how you can just edit or enter a data text. Best practices for entering text data. Avoid extra spaces. Leading or trailing spaces can cause search and filter errors. Use consistent capitalizations to maintain uniformity. For example, the address or the name of city should be written as New York. And this is the correct way instead of using like this. So this is an informal way and this is not considered to be a formal, but this is the right way to write or type as name of city or anything that should be like that. Keep abbreviations standardized. For example, street should be written as street. For example, if I want to write this address as abbreviation, for example, I just want to go with 123 Main Street. And here you can see apartment has been abbreviated as APT, but I just want to write as apartment 4B, Anytown. And this is abbreviated as well. This is the short form of California. So I just want to go with California. And this is the number, or you can say zip code of that area. So this is how you can write, or this should be the formal way to write an address, that everything should be in the full form so that the data should be clear and understandable. So this is how you can just write the address as well. Ensure proper spelling to maintain data integrity. As I've already mentioned, that the words should be in the full form instead of just abbreviations or short forms. Entering numeric data. Numbers are entered in spreadsheets for calculations, data analysis, and record keeping. This includes, for example, I just want to go with Home tab. Click on this number section. So when we just click on this drop-down menu, we have an option called number, and you can just select the option for currency. We'll click on this drop-down menu, and you have the dollar sign, pound, euro, yen, and all these options available. And the next option we have the percentage, and which can be used as if we want to calculate a percentage as well. The next we have comma style, format with thousand separator. For example, I just want to write value as 10286. We'll just enter, and here you can see this just separates the thousands. For example, 102 thousands, and with the decimal point as well. So this is how you can use the comma style as well. Best practices for entering numbers. Do not add symbols like commas or dollar signs manually. Use numbers formatting instead. Use consistent decimal places for accuracy. For example, if we are using this one, 2.50, then this format should be used. And you can just increase the decimal point as well if you want to increase. And here you can see, you can just increase more as well. And but this format should be used throughout the document. For example, the next point should not be like that. For example, I just want to add 40. So, and I just want to increase by 1 point. So this format might lead to miscalculations or the errors. So the only accurate way is to write in this way, that this format should be followed. Avoid unnecessary spaces before or after numbers. Be mindful of negative values. Use a minus or parenthesis for clarity. For example, if I just want to add a negative value, I just have to write a negative 6.9. So this is the right way to add a negative value. For example, report requires tracking products, prices, and quantities. For example, I just add a new sheet and add 4 columns as an insert table. Click on here, and you can change the style as well from in here. For example, I just want to go with this one, and I just write the product, and the next column is price. The next one is units sold, and the fourth one is total sales. So the correct entry should be numbers entered without symbols. For example, the product is smartphone, price is 799.99, units sold are 25, and the total sales is 19,099.75. So the correct way is to write this without any signs and without any extra detail, as for example, this is the correct way to write a data. But when you write as price as with dollar sign 799.99 and units sold as 25 units, then this may cause errors in calculations. So you must use these format to enter entries in a Microsoft Excel. Entering dates and time. Dates and times are used for tracking records, scheduling, and data analysis. However, incorrect formatting can lead to miscalculations and sorting errors. Best practices for entering dates and time. Always use a recognized date format. For example, the correct way is month, date, and year. Or you can use year, month, or date. So this is the way to write dates during working on a worksheet. Avoid entering dates as text. Use built-in date formatting to enable sorting and calculations. For example, I just want to add a date in this cell, and I'll just go to this formula bar and just write equal sign, date, and year 2025, comma, month April 04, and date is 14. And we'll just end this and press enter. So here you can see this this formula gives us this date as month, date, and year following this rule. So this is how you can add a date in this Microsoft Excel. For example, I just want to write a time in this cell. We'll just go to this formula bar, equal sign, says time, enter, and it asks us to enter hour, minute, and seconds as well. So we'll just write as 15 and 45 and 48 seconds. We'll just close this and press enter. You can see the time has automatically been converted to PM, although we just wrote it into the 24 hours time. So this is how time can be written in Microsoft Excel sheet. Example: an employee shift schedule needs proper date and timing formatting. For example, we just create a new sheet for shift start time and create a table in here. Insert table, press OK. You could use any format and we just go with this simple one. The first one is shift start date and press double click, and we'll just go with shift end date, and you can just replace that. And then last column is start time. So we'll just write time as, we'll go to the formula bar, press equal sign, date, and parentheses. We just write as 2024, month is 06, and date is 19. So this is how you can just end this. So the start date is 19th of June 2024, and end date is, we'll just go to this formula bar and we'll just write as equal sign, date, parenthesis, year is 2005, and month is 02, comma, and day is 21. So close it and press enter. Here you can see the shift end date is 21st of February 2025, and the start time is, you can just go to the formula bar, press equal, time, parenthesis, hours 17, comma, minutes 0, second 0. Just close this, and here you can see the start time is 5 p.m. So this is how you can just add date, time, and create a table in Microsoft Excel using the formal way to enter, so that we don't have any mistakes and errors at the end of this work. Formatting cells, font, colors, and borders. When working with spreadsheets, raw data can be difficult to interpret. Formatting helps organize and emphasize important information, making it easier to read and analyze. Using fonts, colors, and borders properly enhances the presentation of data while maintaining clarity and professionalism. Formatting fonts for readability. Text formatting enhances clarity and organization. Font size, style, and emphasis like bold, italics, underline should be used purposefully to structure data effectively. Font style. Use standard fonts like Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman for a professional look. For example, I just open a file that we already have saved. Click in here. Font Arial already throughout this document. Here you can see font size. Headings should be larger. For example, 14 to 16 points. As you can see, these are the headings, and it has a font of 12, and you can increase it to 14. So we'll just double click that to make space for each heading. So here you can see the heading of this entire row has been 14, and it is Arial, which is bold as well, while standard text remains readable at 10 to 12 points. You can see, for example, we just select this, the entire text is 10 points with Arial, and you can choose Calibri or Times New Roman as well according to the needs and requirement of your content. Bold and italics. Bold text highlights key figures. For example, I just want to bold this unit price, which has been the highest. For example, in this column we can see this one is the highest one. We just click this cell, go to this bold. Here you can see the text has been bold, which just highlights the text. Italics can emphasize notes or special information. For example, I just want the technology from this column to be italic, so we'll just select it. So, and just go to this font section, press I. You can use Control plus I if you're using Windows, and Command plus I if you're using Mac. So you can just press I. So the selected cells have been italic as well. So this emphasizes the notes and special information. The next we have underlining. Best used for headings but avoid excessive use in data tables. For example, I just want this column to have headings as underlined. We'll just go to this font section and select this U which has a little underline and click on that. So here you can see this row, which is the heading, has been underlined to emphasize that these are the headings and prominent throughout this sheet. Using colors to highlight important data. Colors should be used strategically to differentiate categories, highlight trends, and draw attention to critical figures. However, too much color can make data look cluttered. For example, the first 11 of the data entry from profit, I just want them to be colored as red. So here you can see we can change the color of the text or the data that we have already put. Text colors. Dark colors like black, navy, dark green for readability, red for negative values, for example losses or overdue payments, green for positive trends, for example revenue increase. For example, as you can see, if we just want the negative values to be highlighted as red, we can just Control Z and we'll just select with the negative values and go to this colored and select the red one, but the positive ones should be green. We just go to this section and press green. So here you can see this identifies and distinguish the data that how many losses or how many profits we made throughout this sheet. Cell fill colors. Light shades for emphasis, for example light yellow for pending tasks, contrasting colors for categories, for example alternating row colors for readability. For example, I just want this column, or you can just select on H as well, and we just go to cell setting and we'll just go to this cell style, and you can choose any of these. For example, I just want to go with this one, which is ice blue. Click on that and this column has been filled with the desired color, but we just have to change the setting for that as well. We just go with Arial, and which is 14 points, bold and underline. So this has been implemented. Adding borders for organization. Borders help separate sections of a spreadsheet and improve structure, making it easier to navigate complex data. Thin borders used for standard cell outlines. For example, I just select this entire table, go to this section, and we'll click on this more borders. Here you can change the style of the borders as well. For example, I just want to go with this one, and it should be outline or inline. You can just choose any of these. So I just want to go with this one. We'll just press OK. Here you can see the entire table has been bordered with each cell. Thick borders emphasize totals or summaries. For example, I just want this column F1 to be borders as thick, and I just go to these borders and select on thick outside borders. We'll click on that. Here you can see it has a thick border which just distinguish from other columns as well. So this is how you can just use thick borders. Dotted or dashed borders indicate optional or estimated values. For example, I just want this G column to be bordered as dotted or dashed. We'll go to this section and click on this more borders, and as you can see we have these options. We'll just click on any of these, press outline and inside as well. So we'll just click on this. Here you can see all the other borders are like thick ones, but this specific column has been bordered as the dotted or dashed. So this is how you can just add dotted or dashed borders in Microsoft Excel. Example, in a financial report, header rows may have bold borders, subtotals may have double line borders, and data sections separated with thin grid lines. So this is how you can just customize your worksheet according to your needs, requirements, and the data you have. Adjusting column width, row height, and cell alignment. A well-organized spreadsheet is easier to read, understand, and work with. By adjusting column widths, row heights, and cell alignment, you ensure the data is clearly displayed and neatly arranged. These formatting adjustments prevent content from being hidden or misaligned and significantly improve the overall presentation. Adjusting column width for proper data display. Columns should be wide enough to display content without cutting off text or numbers. Adjusting the width prevents overcrowding and makes the spreadsheet easier to read. Ways to adjust column width. To implement that, we have a spreadsheet over here. Here you can see the headings are cut off and it looks unprofessional as content is not displayed properly. And you can adjust the width of the cell manually by dragging the column boundary to increase or decrease width. For example, I just want to increase the width of this column and I'll just click this boundary of the cell and just drag it as much as I need. For example, I just want to this one. As you can see, the column width has been increased as we wanted it to be. Autofill. Double click the column boundary to automatically fit the content. For example, I just want to increase the width of this column as the text has been cut off. So I just will double click the boundary and you can see it has been fixed as per the requirement and the text has been appeared completely and it is not cut off. Specific width input. Set an exact width by right clicking the column. For example, I just want this column to have a specific width. We just right click on this and here is the option called column width. We click on that. And for example, I just want this to be 15. Click on that. Here you can see the text has been completely appeared and it is not cut off. So it looks a little more professional. So this is how you can adjust the column width by implementing the three ways that we have already applied in Microsoft Excel. Example, if a column contains long product names but appears cut off, increasing the width ensures full visibility without affecting other columns. For example, I just want to implement the methods that we have applied on this entire table and I just will double click the boundary in all the senses and it has been increased as we don't need extra space for this and it has automatically decreased the size as per the data available for this column. So it will be decreased as well and it will be decreased as we have not long data provided and this will be decreased as well and it will be increased. This will be increased as well as the data text was cut off, so it just has implemented as per the data requirement or data entered in this Excel sheet. Changing row height for readability. Row height determines the space available for text within a cell. Adjusting row height helps accommodate multi-line text and improves spacing. Ways to adjust row height. The first one is manual adjustment. Drag the row boundary to increase and decrease height. For example, I just want this row to have a little more space and I just drag the line downwards and it will be increased. Autofit. Double click the row boundary to fit the tallest content automatically. For example, I just want this row to have a uniform size and I'll just double click on this boundary and here you can see it has been collapsed a little bit and it has a uniform size, specific height input. Right click the row. For example, I just want to increase or decrease the size of this row and I just right click in here. Here's the option called row height and I just want it to be, for example, 15. I'll click on that and here you can see it has been decreased to 15 points. So this is how you can adjust row height as well. Example, when entering addresses in a single cell, increasing the row height ensures the entire text is visible. So if the text is a little too long for the one cell and I just want it to be in this entire cell instead of increasing the size of column, so I just need to put in here. Aligning data for a neat and professional look. Cell alignment controls how text and numbers appear within a cell. Proper alignment enhances readability and maintains consistency. Left align aligns text to the left, which is default for text. Here you can see all the text has been on the left side, but the numbers have been on the right side. So this is just the default setting. But if we want it to be in the center, we'll just click in on this column and click in this left align. We'll click on that and the date will be aligned to the left. Right align aligns number to the right, default for numbers. Here you can see all these numbers have been aligned to the left. But for example, I just want this to be on the left side. We'll click in here and it will be aligned to the left. But although this should be at the right, so these both of these columns should be at the right side as per the default setting. Center align. centers content horizontally. For example, I just want H column to have a center aligned. Here you can see the heading has been center placed and the text has been center aligned as well. So this look a little more professional, you can say. Top, middle, bottom align adjusts vertical positioning of content within a cell. Like you can adjust, for example, I just want to have implement this text in here. Here you can see this is bottom aligned. And if I just want this to be center aligned and I just want to click in here. So here you can see this is center aligned as per the size of the row. So this is how you can just adjust the rows or columns alignment as well. Example. Column headers often look better when center aligned for a structured appearance. Financial data is typically right aligned to ensure numbers are easy to compare. So for example, I just want this heading row should be as center aligned. Here you can see, which is already in center, and the numbers data will be at the right aligned as per professional or default setting. So this is how you can just double click on that and it will appear in a professional look. Writing basic formulas in spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are highly effective for performing calculations and formulas make it easy to automate basic math operations. Rather than calculating values by hand, you can quickly generate totals, differences, products, and quotients using simple formulas. Knowing how to apply them correctly improves accuracy and boosts efficiency. You will learn how to use basic formulas to perform calculations automatically, reduce errors, and save time when working with numerical data. A formula is an equation used to perform calculations on spreadsheet data. Every formula begins with an equal sign, followed by numbers, cell references, and operators. Example, to add two numbers, for example, we have two values as 10 and 5. To perform that, we just need to add 10 plus 5. But how can we apply this in Microsoft Excel that this answer should give us the answer of 15? So we'll apply the formula using these two numbers in the formula bar. Formulas can reference specific cells rather than using fixed numbers. As A1 contains 10 and B1 contains 5, so this C1 should have the answer of 15. So if we just add them, so let's assume I just create a new sheet. Okay, we'll just create a table of 6 and in here as, and you can just change the style from in here. For example, I just want to go with this one. This looks a little formal. Okay, and I just have to write value 1 and we just want to have an answer in here, so I'll just write it as addition, this subtraction, multiplication, and division. We'll just double click on that to have a fixed so that text should not be cut off. So this is how you can just do that. And I just want to have these values performing basic arithmetic operations, addition, summing values, used for totaling numbers or adding up multiple cells. For example, I have a value of 10. I just want to have this one. And I just want to add 10. Value 2 is 5. So to perform addition, we'll have to go to this specific cell where we want the answer. Go to this formula bar, press equal sign, and we'll just write as the value 10 is at A2. So we'll write A2 plus sign and B2 as number 5 is at B2. So we'll press enter. Here you can see we have answer 15. So this is how you can perform addition in Microsoft Excel. Subtraction, finding the difference. Used to calculate the difference between numbers. For example, I just want to subtract this value from value 1. So I'll just go to this specific cell where we want the answer. Then go to this formula bar, press equal sign. As we have value of 10 at A2, we press A2 minus value of value 2, which is B2. Press enter. Here you can see we have an answer of 5 as 10 minus 5 is 5. So this is how you can perform the subtraction in Microsoft Excel. Multiplication. calculating products, used for scaling values or computing percentages. For example, I just want to multiply this value by this one, and I just go to the specific cell where we want the answer, go to this formula bar, press equal sign, and as we have value 1 at A2, we will use steric for multiplication and B2, press enter. Here we have our answer 50 as 10 multiplied by 5 is 50. So this is how you can perform multiplication in Microsoft Excel. Division, finding ratios, used for calculating per unit values or percentages. For example, I just want to divide this value by this one. We'll just select the cell where we want the answer, go to this formula bar and press equal sign. Don't forget to press equal sign as it will not calculate any value if the equal sign is missing. We have a value 1 at A2. We'll press this sign as this sign represents ratio or division, and we have to divide this value by value 2, which is 5, and this is at B2. So we'll just write B2, press enter. Here you have answer of 2 as 10 divided by 5 is 2. So this is how you can perform basic arithmetic calculations in Microsoft Excel. Combining operations in formulas. Spreadsheets follow the order of operations PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, addition and subtraction. For example, I just want to add another column in here, which is combined calculation, and I'm just clicking here. So for example, I just want to add these three values A2, B2 and multiply that with, for example, F2. So we'll just go to this formula bar and we'll press equal sign, press A2 plus B2 and multiply F2, and we'll just press enter. Here we have the answer 50, as it performs multiplication first, like 2 multiplied by 5, which are 10, and then 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. So this is how it performs the calculations by using this PEMDAS operation order. But if we want addition performed first, then I just have to write as priority column. For example, I just want addition to be performed first and then multiplication, then we'll use parentheses. For example, I just want these values to be added first, then it should be multiplied with F2. So I just go to this formula bar, click on the cell where you want the calculation, press equal sign, and you will just have to write parentheses, which is A2 plus B2, parentheses close, and then multiply sign, which is steric, and then F2. So we'll press enter. Then it will give us the answer of 30, as 10 plus 5 is equal to 15, and 2, when we multiply by 15 by 2, and using the order of operations as PEMDAS. Common formula errors and fixes. Number divided by 0 error occurs when divided by 0. For example, I just increase the table and I just write error first. Okay. And when I just write an equation as equal sign F2 divided by 0. Okay, then it will just give us this error. When the solution is ensure that denominator is not 0. Value error happens when trying to perform arithmetic on text. For example, when I just write a text in here and I just write, so here you can see this errors occurs when we perform arithmetic calculations on text. So we'll just undo that, and that error has been fixed. Incorrect calculation order. Forgetting parentheses leads to unexpected results. Solution. Use parentheses to clarify operation sequence. Essential functions: sum, average, mean, and max. Functions in spreadsheets simplify data analysis by automating common calculations. Instead of manually adding figures or identifying the highest and lowest values, Built-in functions like sum, average, min, and max allow you to process data quickly and accurately. These tools are especially useful for financial analysis, performance reviews, and basic statistical tasks. Understanding spreadsheet functions. A function is a predefined formula that performs calculations automatically. Functions start with an equal sign, followed by the function name and a set of parentheses. The parenthesis contains the range of cells that the function will calculate. Example: to sum, for example, we write a formula in here. If we have a data of 10 rows, then we'll just write an equal sign, write sum, parenthesis, and the range. For example, we have 10 rows, then we'll just press A1 colon and A10. So it will add 10 rows. If we have 10 numerical data in here, then the sum of 10 numbers will be performed. That we will be performing in this lecture. This formula adds 10 rows of numerical data that will be entered in the cell that we'll be performing in this lecture. Commonly used functions. Sum function, adding values. The sum functions add numbers in a selected range of cells. For that, let's assume we have a data of employees in here, and I just want these numbers to be added from D2 to D21. And it will be really difficult for me to add all this one by one, but to perform sum in this cell, for example, I just write a formula in here. I just go to this and I just want the answer to be in here, so I just click on this cell as sum, and we'll just go to this formula bar, write equal sign, write sum, parenthesis, and I just want these cells from D2 and colon, and I just want the last number will be D21, so I'll just write D21, and here you can see it has already selected all the numbers. We'll close the parenthesis and press enter. So this automatically sums all these numbers in this cell. So this is how you can perform sum or addition of multiple cells by just using one formula. This function is useful for calculating total sales, expenses, or scores. And here you can see it as a title of bonus. So I just will have to manage this by just using this formula. Average function, finding the mean. The average function calculates the mean or average of a group of numbers. For example, I just want to calculate the average of all these bonuses in this cell. Then I just need to perform the calculation by using this formula. We'll just select the text in here as I just write this as sum. It was the sum of all these cells, and I just want the average, and I will just write average. To perform average, we'll just click on the cell where we want the answer. We'll go to this formula bar, press equal sign, and write average, parenthesis, and I just want the average from D2 to D21. As it already selected, we'll close the parenthesis and press enter. So here you can see the average of all the bonuses from this point to this is $535.8, as this amount is in dollars. So this is how the sum and average can be calculated in Microsoft Excel. Min function, finding the smallest value. As we have multiple cells and it will be difficult for anyone to find the smallest number if we have thousands or even lakhs of data in a worksheet. For example, if we have an average of all the citizens in New York, then it will be really difficult for us to find the smallest or the youngest one. So for that, to find minimum value or the smallest value in a Microsoft Excel sheet, we just need to apply this formula, and we'll just write in here as min function. We'll click on the cell where we want the answer. We'll go to this formula bar and press equal sign as min, and we'll just start the parentheses, and we just want a minimum number from D2 colon to D21. So we want the minimum value or the smallest number from this selected column, so we'll just enter, and here you can see the smallest value is 20, which is found at number 8 row. So this is how we can just perform the min function in Microsoft Excel. The min function is commonly used to identify the lowest prices, shortest response time, or smallest financial figures. Max function, finding the largest value. The max function returns the highest value in a range of numbers. For example, we need to find the maximum number or maximum value in this column, and for that we will just name a cell as highest, or you can say max function. So we will click on the cell where we want the answer of the highest number and go to this formula bar, press equal, and you will just write max parenthesis start and where you want, and we'll just enter the range as D2 to D21. Close the parenthesis and press enter. Here you can see we have the highest or maximum value in this column is 1542, which is at the number 2 row. So this is how you can perform max function in Microsoft Excel. The max function is useful for determining peak sales, highest test scores, or top performing employees. Common errors and how to fix them. Hash value error happens when using text instead of numbers in a function. Solution: ensure the range contains only numeric values. Href error occurs when a reference cell is deleted. Solution: check for missing or deleted cells in the function's range. Incorrect range selection. Choosing extra or wrong cells may affect calculations. Solution: double check the cell range inside the parentheses. Using AutoSum for quick calculations. Spreadsheets are built to streamline calculations, and the AutoSum feature takes that convenience a step further. With just one click, AutoSum can quickly perform common functions like sum, average, mean, max, and count, eliminating the need to enter formulas manually. It's a valuable tool for working efficiently, minimizing errors, and managing large datasets in areas like finance, sales, and academic tracking. What is AutoSum? AutoSum is a built-in function in spreadsheet programs like Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, and LibreOffice Calc that automatically applies common functions to a selected range of numbers. Example: instead of typing this formula, for example, is equal to sum and the range from A1 to A10, for example, and close that, you can just use this feature going to Formulas tab and using AutoSum, and there is a function called sum, so that will sum all these numbers that will be selected in these cells. Functions available in AutoSum. AutoSum supports several key functions. Sum, adding numbers quickly. For example, I have a spreadsheet over here, alright, and I just want to add all these numbers by using AutoSum. Then I'll just highlight all these cells and then go to this Formulas tab. Here is the option called AutoSum. We'll click on that, and you can see here is the first option called sum. We'll click on that as well. Here you can see it gives us the answer of all these numbers to be added, and this will be the sum, and here you can write that as well, like sum. Average, finding the mean. To find average, we'll just select the number, okay, and just go to this Formulas tab, click on here, click on this average. When we just click on that, then it will give us this average, and you can just write that as well. So this is how AutoSum gives us the average of all these numbers, and for that we'll just have an insert so that it just gives us the little space. Min function, finding the smallest value. To find the smallest number or the value from this column, from the selected cells, we just highlight all these cells, go to this Formula tab, go to this AutoSum. Here is the option called min. We'll click in here, and it will gives us the number 20. It lets us know that the smallest number in this column is 20, so we'll just write in here min function, okay, and for to give it a space, we'll just add another row, okay. Max, finding the largest value. Example: identify the highest sales figure in the given dataset. For example, I just want to find the highest value in this column from these selected cells. We'll highlight all these cells, go to this Formulas tab, click on this AutoSum, and click on this max. It gives us the value 1542, which lets us know that in this dataset this value is the maximum or the largest one. So I just write this as max function, and we will just give it a little space. so that it differentiates from all these data sets. And these are the functions that we have applied through AutoSum. Count, counting the numbers of entries. Example, use AutoSum to count the numbers of non-empty cells in a column. For example, I just want to know that how many cells are being entered. All right, and we'll just select these cells and go to this AutoSum. Here's the option called count numbers. We'll click on that and it gives us the answer 20, which lets us know that there are 20 entries from this D2 to D21. So these are the 20 entries, and we'll just give it a little space so that it differentiates and it just count. We'll just write in count function. So this is how AutoSum features can be used in Microsoft Excel. How to use AutoSum in a spreadsheet. Select the cell where you want the result to appear. Click on the AutoSum button in the toolbar, like in here. The program will automatically highlight a range of numbers. If the selection is incorrect, manually adjust it. Press enter and the result will be displayed in the selected cell, as we have already applied on these data sets, and these are the 5 functions that we have applied through AutoSum. Tip: you can also use keyboard shortcuts. While using Excel, you can press Alt plus equal sign in the desired cell and it selects all these numbers that will be in the range, and we will just click on that and it will gives us the sum of all these selected cells in this cell that was selected using the mouse. Common errors and troubleshooting. Error: AutoSum is not selecting the correct range. Solution: manually adjust the range by clicking and dragging over the correct cells. Like you can use mouse by just clicking it and dragging it, and you can just select all the cells to apply this feature or the function in the Microsoft Excel. Error: the result is showing as 0. Solution: ensure the selected cells contains numbers, not text or blank entries. Error: AutoSum is not working. Solution: check if the numbers are formatted correctly as numerical values. Sorting data alphabetically and numerically. Sorting is a basic yet powerful feature in spreadsheets that helps organize data for clearer analysis and presentation. Whether you are arranging text alphabetically or numbers by value, sorting makes it easier to spot trends, compare information, and draw conclusions. Well-sorted data supports better decision-making across business reports, research projects, and financial records. Understanding sorting in spreadsheets. Sorting allows users to rearrange data within a column based on a specific order. This feature is particularly useful in organizing a list of names in alphabetical order, arranging numerical data such as sales figures from lowest to highest, sorting dates chronologically for better time-based analysis, sorting data alphabetically. Sorting text values alphabetically is useful for managing lists such as employee names, product inventories, or student records. Steps to sort alphabetically: A to Z or Z to A. For example, I just want this H column of customer names to be sorted alphabetically. A to Z or Z to A, we'll just select this column, go to this sort and filter in editing under the home tab. We'll click on this sort and filter. Here's the option called A to Z, and when we'll just click on it and we'll just sort it, here you can see all the names have been alphabetically sorted, like from A, and the next will be B, next will be C. So this is how you can just sort or customize the data within a sheet of Microsoft Excel. And you can just go to this sort and you can just click on sort Z to A. Then when we'll just click on it, we'll just sort. Here you can see this starts with Y and it just go back to this A. So this just goes downwards alphabetically. So this is how sorting alphabetically works in Microsoft Excel. Verify the sorted data to ensure accuracy. You can just see that Y, X, W, V, and all these text has been arranged and alphabetically sorted. Sorting data numerically. Numerical sorting helps organize data in a logical sequence, such as ranking sales figures, exam scores, or financial transactions. Steps to sort numbers in ascending or descending order. We'll just select the column containing numerical values. For example, I just want to sort this profit column F, and we'll just select this, go to this sort and filter, we'll click on that, and here it asks us to sort smallest to largest or largest to smallest. For example, I just want the smallest one to be at the top. We'll click on that and we'll click on this sort. Here you can see this gives us the smallest value with the negative as is the most lowest one, and it goes go upward. And here you can see we'll just have the data increasing downwards. So this is how it has the maximum value of 11,535.28 at the bottom because it was sorted in descending order. But to sort it in ascending order, we'll just click this column. We'll just go back to this editing section and click on this sort and filter, and we just want the largest number to be at the top. We'll click on that and click on this sort. Here you can see the maximum value will be at the top, goes down as we just go downwards. So this is how you can just sort the numbers within a Microsoft Excel in ascending or descending order. Multi-level sorting. Sometimes a dataset needs to be sorted by multiple criteria, such as sorting employees by department first and then by last name. Steps to apply multi-level sorting. First, we'll just select the entire dataset, including headers. Okay, we'll just select all these entries and we'll go up and we'll just click on this sort. And here is the option called custom sort. We'll click on that and it gives us a box where you can just select any of these columns one by one to sort it according to your need. For example, I just want order ID to be sorted from smallest to largest. Alright, we'll click on that. Here you can see it just is in ascending order. Okay, but I just want customer name to be sorted in alphabetically order from A to Z. We'll just select all these cells and just go to the sort, select custom sort, and we'll select this customer name, and you can just select this from A to Z or Z to A, and I just want this to be A to Z. We'll click on that. Here you can see the names have been sorted alphabetically. So this is how you can custom sort as well, and you can just apply this feature on any of these columns according to your needs and requirements. To apply this on product category, we'll just select this J column. We'll click on this sort, custom sort, and I just want this to be sorted, and you can just customize this as per your needs and requirement, and you can just add level. Okay, sort by, for example, first it will be sorted by customer name, then by order ID from smallest to largest. So you can just apply these on maximum levels one by one. So we'll just click on this. Here you can see this sort has been applied to this column H and column A simultaneously with just one single click by just using this custom sort. Example: sorting employees first by department, then alphabetically by last name. Filtering data to show specific information. Working with large datasets can be challenging, especially when trying to locate specific information. Filtering simplifies this by displaying only the relevant data and temporarily hiding the rest. It's a key tool for efficient analysis, clear reporting, and informed decision making. What is filtering? Filtering is a method of temporarily hiding unwanted data to focus on specific records. Unlike sorting, which reorders data, filtering removes irrelevant entries while keeping the dataset intact. Filtering is useful when viewing only high priority tasks in a project tracker, analyzing sales data for a specific region, finding students with grades above a certain threshold, applying basic filters. Most spreadsheet applications provide a built-in filter tool that allows users to display specific records based on a chosen criteria. Steps to apply a basic filter. For example, we have a dataset like here, and we want to filter this according to our need and requirement. When you just click on this filter icon by just pressing filter, drop-down arrows appear in the column headers. Click on one to select filter criteria. For example, I just want to apply a filter on these sales by just clicking on this arrow, and it asks me to filter the data. For example, I just want to have all the data which is top 10, or you can put any condition like less than or equal to as well, or greater than as equal to as well. For example, I just want to add a greater than or equal to, and I'll just write a value. For example, I just want to have a sales greater than or equal to 5,000. For example, I just have put this value and when I'll press OK, then these entries will appear as these have greater than 5,000 sales in this whole data set. For example, I just want to have greater than or equal to 10,000. Press OK, and lesser number of data sets will appear as there are very few amounts which are greater than 10,000. So this is how you can just apply filter in a Microsoft Excel. Filtering by text, numbers, and dates. Different types of filters allow users to refine data more effectively. Text filters, used for filtering words or phrases in a column. For example, I just want to apply this filter on this product category. We'll click on that. And I just want to see the entries that have only technology. And we'll just uncheck all of these. And just only technology will be checked. And we'll press OK. Here you can see only the technology product category shown in this entire data set, which data has been filtered according to our needs. And they have also greater than 10,000 sales as well. So this is how you can just filter according to your needs and requirement. Number filters, used to filter numerical values based on conditions. And I just want to apply a filter on this unit price, and we'll click on this, go to filters, number filters, and I just want that it should be greater than or equal to 1000 unit price. Or you can just apply a second filter as well. It should be less than 2000. We'll press OK, and we have only two entries which has sales greater than 10,000, unit price greater than 1000 and less than 1500, and product category as technology. So we applied three filters. Here you can see a filter icon as well, and you can apply as many filters as you have columns. So this is how you can just filter the data from these data sets. Date filters, used to filter records by date ranges. For example, I just want to apply a filter on this order date. We'll click on that, and you can see I just want to see all these data sets but only year of 2012, and we'll press OK. Here you can see we have all the orders and all the entries as per the year 2012. So this is how you can just apply date filters as well. Steps to use these filters. Click the filter drop down on the relevant column, choose text filters, number filters, or date filters depending on data type. Here you can see we can apply the date filter in here, we can apply number filter on this data, and you can apply text filter on this ship mode, customer name, customer segment, and product category as well. So this is how you can just apply as per your requirement. And you can select a condition as well. For example, I just want to apply a filter on these sales with two different conditions. We'll click on that, and you can just go this number setting, and you can just click on this custom filter, and you can just apply any of these. For example, I just want to have is greater than 1000 and less than 5000. So we press OK. Here you have all the entries that in between the range that we have already entered. So this is how you can apply two different conditions in a single filter. Steps to apply multi-level filtering. Apply a number filter to the sales column, for example greater than $1000. Apply a text filter to the sales channel column, for example you can see furniture, technology, or office supplies, any of these. And the spreadsheet now shows only transactions meeting both conditions. So you can apply all these filters on different columns as per your need and requirement to have a specific data and information. Using tables to structure data. Tables are one of the most effective ways to structure, manage, and analyze data in spreadsheet applications. Unlike raw datasets, tables offer built-in features that allow for easier sorting, filtering, and formatting. Whether you are working with financial data, tracking inventory, or managing survey responses, tables improve clarity, consistency, and efficiency. What is a table? A table is an organized way of sorting data in rows and columns with added functionality for better management. It allows users to format, sort, and analyze data more effectively. Tables are particularly used for organizing large datasets for easy readability, performing quick calculations using built-in functions, ensuring consistency when working with multiple data entries. Creating a table in a spreadsheet. Steps to create a table. For example, I have dataset like this and it has column headers. Here you can see the headers as well. We'll just select all this dataset, go to Insert tab, we'll just click on this table and it asks us that it has a header or not as well. So we'll just click OK as they have headers. We'll click on that. Here you can see it has been converted into a table. Example, if you have a dataset listing customer purchases, converting it into a table allows for quick sorting by purchase date, filtering by customer name, and automatic calculations for total sales. But in this case, you can just customize this by department ID, employee ID, names, and bonus in dollars. So this is how you can just customize it as per your needs, and you can add filters if you really want to have a specific data from this dataset. Formatting and customizing tables. Tables offer various formatting options to enhance readability. Branded rows and columns. Alternate row colors improve visibility. Here you can see we have two colors as the alternate colors, which improves visibility. Header row. Column titles become bold for easy identifications. Here you can see we have the header in bold so that they can be distinguished from the rows. Predefined styles. Professionally designed theme enhance clarity. When you just click on this table, it gives us a tab called table design. We'll click on that and you can just customize the colors of this table as well, and you can have more options when you just click in this table. But when you just click outside, that tab will be gone. When you just click on this table entries, then a tab will appear as table design and you can just customize it as per your needs, and you can choose any color of your choice. For example, I just want to go with this one, which are the alternative is. And here you can see we have two different colors as alternate, so it makes the entries more visible. But we'll just click on that and you just can have this. So this is how you can just customize a table. Example, a financial analyst tracking expenses can apply professional formatting to a budget table to make cost categories more distinguishable. Sorting and filtering data in tables. Tables include built-in sorting and filtering tools that allow users to display only relevant information. Sorting in a table. When you just click on this and you have a little drop-down menu in here, if we want to sort it as per our needs, when you just click on this little drop-down menu and it asks us to sort smallest to largest or sort largest to smallest as they are the numbers. But when you just click on that, it asks us to sort by alphabetically ascending or descending. So it just identifies that which column has numbers and which column has text, so it gives us suggestion according to that data entries. For example, I just want these names to be sorted alphabetically and we'll click on that. And this column C, which has names, has been sorted alphabetically from A to Z. Example, a student tracking assignment deadlines can sort due dates from earliest to latest to prioritize workload. Filtering data in a table. For example, I just want to apply a filter on this employee ID. We'll click on that and you can just go with customs number filters and you can just go to this custom filter and this interface will appear and you can just select that. I just want employee IDs which has been greater than 10 and less than 20. So I just go with greater than 10 and less than 20. So we'll click OK. Then the data has been filtered and here you can see the employee IDs are greater than 10 and less than 20. So this is how you can apply filters on this table. Example, a recruiter reviewing job applications can filter candidates by department or experience level, using total rows for quick calculations. Tables allow for automatic calculations without needing complex formulas. Enabling the total rows. We'll just go back to all the data that we have without any filter and click anywhere inside the table. All right, when anywhere, you can just go with this one. Go to the table design, check the box for total rows. We'll click on that, and you can see it gives us the sum of all these entries. So this is how you can perform automatic calculations without needing complex formulas. Select a column where you want a summary and choose from options like sum, average, count, min, and max as well. Example: a sales manager tracking monthly revenue can enable a total row to sum up all sales figures instantly. Choosing the right chart for your data. Charts are powerful tools for visualizing data, but using the wrong chart can lead to confusion or misinterpretation. A well chosen chart highlights key insights, making it easier for the audience to understand trends, comparisons, and relationships. Whether you are presenting financial reports, survey results, or scientific data, selecting the appropriate chart is essential for clear and effective communication. Why choosing the right chart matters. Charts serve different purposes depending on the data and the message you want to convey. Using an inappropriate chart can make data difficult to interpret or misleading, distort relationships between data points, confuse your audience instead of clarifying the information. Example: a pie chart is not suitable for showing trends over time, while a line chart is ineffective for comparing categories. Selecting the correct chart ensures your data is presented accurately. Common chart types and when to use them. For example, we have this data, and I just want to show this data in the form of chart. And I just select the dataset in a column, or you can choose two columns as well for the comparison. But first of all, I just want to apply this on one single column of bonus. And here is the option in insert tab, charts. The whole charts section shows different type of charts which have different purposes. So you can just click on this recommended charts, and you can just click on this all charts, and this interface appears from where you can choose any of these like column, line, pie chart, area, bar, and all of these. So this is how you can just choose any of these. The first one is column or bar chart. These charts display data using vertical columns or horizontal bars, making them ideal for comparing different categories. For example, I just want to go with this one and press OK, or you can go with this one as well. This is when this is the color one, and I just want to go with this one and just press OK. And this is how this data is represented in the form of chart that we already selected from this section. And you can have this interface as well, which has different colors, backgrounds, and the 3D effect as well. For example, I just want to go with this one. So this data is represented in the form of this one. This chart is used for sales by region, survey responses, or financial performance. It is best when comparing multiple items side by side. For example, I just want to compare all these types one by one. So it just shows that this bar has a maximum value and this bar has the minimum value. So this is how you can just set a chart. Example: a company can compare annual revenue across different product categories using a column chart. Line charts, best for trends over time. For example, I don't want this bar chart and I just have to delete that. Okay, and I just select the data again, go to this insert tab, recommended charts, go to this all charts, and you can just select this line. So lines have different versions as well. This one is stat line, this one is 100% straight line, and this one is line with markers. So this is how you can just choose any of these line. A line chart shows continuous data over time with a connected line. For example, I just want to go with this one which has connected dots and press OK. So this is how this data can be shown in the line chart. It is useful for monthly revenue trends, stock prices, or temperature changes. It helps identify increases, decreases, and patterns. Example: a line chart can track website traffic over 6 months to identify peak activity periods. Here you can see it shows that this point has the maximum value and this one has the minimum value. So this is how you can just compare all these values within a single chart. Pie charts, best for proportions and percentages. Pie charts represent parts of a whole, showing how different categories contribute to 100%. For example, I just want to change this and delete that. Okay, and I'll just select the data where I want to apply this chart, and I'll just go to the Insert tab, click on Recommended Charts, or you can choose any of these as well. But as we have all the charts in here, so that's why I'm just going in here so that you can see how that charts will look. And I just want to go with pie chart, and it has 4 different versions as well: 3D, pie of pie, bar of pie, and donut. So for example, I just want to go with the simple 3D pie and press OK. So this is how you can have a 3D version of pie chart of this dataset. It is useful for budget distribution, market share, or survey results, and it is best with limited categories, ideally 5 or fewer. Although we have 20 datasets in here, but still it shows that each part has a visible color so that we can identify that which part has a maximum value and which has the minimum value. So this is how you can just use pie chart in Microsoft Excel. Example: a non-profit organization can use a pie chart to display how its budget is allocated across various departments. Scatter plots, best for relationships between two variables. Scatter plots reveal correlation and trends between two sets of data. It is useful for examining relationships. For example, our studies versus exam scores, and it is best for identifying patterns, outliers, or clusters. For example, I have this dataset. We'll just go to this Insert tab, recommended charts. Here's the option called Scatter. We'll click on that, and here you can see we have this data chart available for this dataset. So this is the scattered one. Example: a researcher analyzing the link between exercise duration and calorie burn may use a scatter plot to display the data. Histograms, best for distributions. Histograms group continuous data into bins, showing how often values fall into specific ranges. It has been used for exam score distributions, population age groups, or salary ranges, and it is best for identifying the spread and shape of data. For example, I just want to use histogram for this data. We'll just go to the other tab, recommended charts, click on all charts, and here's the option called histogram. We'll click on that, choose one, and we have second option as well, like this one, and we'll just click OK. So this is how you can use histogram in a Microsoft Excel, and you can change the style as well by just clicking on this. So this is how it works. Example: a university can use a histogram to display the frequency of students' final grades in a statistical class. Choosing the right chart for your data. When selecting a chart, consider the following. What message are you trying to convey? Trends, comparisons, proportions, or relationships? What type of data are you working with? Categories, numerical values, or time-based data? Will the audience will easily interpret the information? Avoid cluttered or complex visuals. Example: if comparing employee performance across teams, a bar chart works best. If tracking sales growth over multiple years, a line chart is more appropriate. Creating and customizing bar and pie charts. Visualizing data effectively is essential for clear communication, and bar and pie charts are two of the most commonly used chart types. Bar charts are ideal for comparing different categories, while pie charts show proportions of a whole. However, using them correctly requires an understanding of how to create, format, and customize them for better clarity and readability. When to use bar charts versus pie charts. Choosing the right chart type depends on the kind of data you have and the message you want to convey. Bar charts, best for comparing multiple categories. Pie charts, best for showing proportions of a whole. Example: if comparing monthly sales revenue across three departments, a bar chart is the best choice. However, if showing how total revenue is divided among those departments, a pie chart would be more effective. Creating a bar chart. A bar chart consists of rectangular bars that represent different categories. The length of each bar is proportional to the value it represents. Steps to create a bar chart. For example, we have this data set, okay, and I want to apply a bar chart on this data set. First of all, we'll select the dataset, go to the Insert tab, and here is the option called Bar Chart. We'll click on that, and you can use 2D column, 3D column, 2D bar, and 3D bar as well. For example, I just want to go with 3D column, which have different 4 types as well. The first one is clustered column, stacked column, 100% stacked columns, and the fourth one is 3D column. So I just want to go with this simple one, 3D clustered column. We'll click on that, and the bar chart has been created by using this specific data that we have already selected from this column D. You can adjust the axis labels and chart title for clarity. For example, I want to change the chart title. This is bonus in dollars. So this is how you can change the name of the chart as well. Customization options. Change bar colors for better contrast. For example, I just will select this chart, go to this chart design, and you can just select this change colors from anything that you want to match your theme with. For example, I just want to go with this one. Okay, and you can just click on this quick styles, and it will have different options like along with the values as well, and different styles as well. For example, in 3D as well. So you just want to have different representation of that specific chart, then you could just go with it. For example, I just want to go with the simple one. So this is how you can just change the style and color of the chart. Adjust axis labels and grid lines to improve readability. Sort data from highest to lowest for a clearer comparison. For example, I just want to have a clearer vision of this chart as from lowest to highest. We'll click on this drop down menu, and here's the option called sort smallest to largest. Click on that, and the chart will be represented in the form of ascending order from lowest to highest, and you can go with highest to lowest as well from this one, sort largest to smallest, and it will be in the opposite direction as the highest is the first one and lowest is the last one. So this is how you can just sort the data and the chart as well. Creating a pie chart. A pie chart represents data as slices of a circle, where each slice corresponds to a percentage of the total. Steps to create a pie chart. Select the dataset, for example, bonus in dollars. As we were working on this, we'll just select this, go to this Insert tab, and here's the option called pie chart or donut chart as well. We'll click on that, and we have options like 2D pie, 3D pie, and donut. So we can go with any of these, as you can just see. For example, I just want to go with simple pie chart. We'll click on that, and you can change the colors of this as well. For example, I just want to go with a little bluish, blue gray, which is blue and gray gradient, dark to light. The next one is red gradient and olive green gradient. So you can use any of these, monochromatic and colorful as well. So for example, I just want to go with this color palette and click on this. You can go with this one, which represents the percentages, and it just gets a little clustered, which looks a little informal. So we should keep that in mind, that the representation must be formal and it should not be complicated. So we just want to go with this one. So, and you can just change the title as well, pie chart of our data set. So we'll just click outside of this chart, and it will be changed as pie chart of our data set that we already selected from this to this. Customization options. Use different slices colors for better distinction. Add percentage labels to clarify each category's proportion. Avoid excessive slices. Keep categories limited to 5 or fewer for readability. For example, I just want to have a pie chart of maximum 5 datasets from this to this. We have 5 datasets. We go to this insert, click on this pie chart, and click on that. So here you can see we have a chart for these 5 datasets and which looks a little clearer other than the previous one as we had 20 values from this to this. Best practices for customizing charts. Use clear titles. The title should describe what the chart represents. Choose readable fonts. Ensure labels and numbers are legible. Limit categories in pie charts. Too many slices make it hard to interpret. Use consistent colors. Maintain a color scheme that is easy to understand. Avoid distortion. Avoid 3D effects that make it difficult to compare values. So this is how you can just add pie chart and bar chart in Microsoft Excel. Saving in different formats: Excel, PDF, or CSV. Saving your work in the correct format ensures data accessibility, security, and compatibility with different softwares. Microsoft Excel allows you to save files in various formats, including Excel, .xlsx extension, PDF, and CSV, each serving different purposes. Choosing the right format depends on whether you need to edit the file later, share it for viewing only, or integrate it with other applications. Understanding file formats. Each file format serves a specific function. Excel.xlsx extension, best for working files where you need to edit and update data regularly. PDF.pdf extension, ideal for sharing reports or documents where formatting should remain unchanged. CSV.csv extension, used for storing raw data in a simple text format that is compatible with databases and other applications. Saving as an Excel file. .xlsx extension. The default format in Microsoft Excel is .xlsx extension, which retains all features such as formulas, charts, formatting, and macros. Steps to save in .xlsx format. Click on File and then go to Save As. Click on that. Choose a location to save the file. For example, I just want this file to be saved on desktop. Here you can see this file already suggests us the default extension as .xlsx extension. So we just rename that, update it, and press save. Here you can see this file has been saved with that specific extension of default Microsoft Excel. When to use? When you need to edit and update the file later, when the file contains formulas, formatting, or power tables, when working with large datasets that require Excel specific features. Example: if you are tracking sales data with the formulas and graphs, saving as .xlsx extensions ensures that all calculations and visuals elements remain functional. Saving as a PDF .pdf extension. A PDF portable document format is best when you need to share a file while preserving its layout and formatting. PDFs are widely used for reports, invoices, and finalized documents that should not be edited. Steps to save as a PDF. For example, I have a worksheet like this and I just want to save this file as a PDF. We'll just go to this file, go to Save As, browse a location where we want this file to be saved. For example, I just want this file to be saved on desktop. So here's the option as Save As tab. We'll click on this drop down menu. So we have a PDF in here. So we'll click on that and we'll just click Save. So this file has been saved as a PDF. We'll just minimize that. Here you can see this file has been saved in our desktop as we wanted it to be saved in here. So we'll just open that by double clicking. Here you can see we have that specific all the data in a PDF format. So this is how you can save an Excel file in a PDF format. When to use? When sharing a file that should not be edited, when presenting financial reports, invoices, or summaries, when sending documents that must look the same on any device. Example: if you are sending a financial report to a client, a PDF ensures that the layout and figures remain unchanged. Saving as a CSV file. .csv extension. A CSV, comma separated values file, stores data in a plain text, where each value is separated by a comma. This format is widely used for data exchange between different applications, such as importing contacts or exporting database records. Steps to save as a CSV. Click on File tab. We'll go in here, go to the Save As, browse the location. For example, I just want this file to be saved on desktop as well. We'll just choose from Save As type to click on this drop down menu. And here is the extension called CSV, comma delimited. Click on that and click on Save. So we just have to use this format, so we'll just save it. Here you can see this file has been saved with the extension of .csv. When to use? When transferring data between different systems or software, when uploading or exporting data for databases, web applications, or spreadsheets, when saving simple text-based data without formatting. Example, if you are exporting a customer list from Excel to a CRM system, a CSV file ensures compatibility. Printing Excel sheets with proper formatting. Printing an Excel sheet may seem simple, but without proper formatting, the output can be messy, difficult to read, or even incomplete. Unlike word processing software, Excel is designed for digital data manipulation, so ensuring a print-friendly format requires adjustments. Adjusting page layouts for printing. Before printing an Excel sheet, setting up the page layout ensures that data is presented clearly and professionally. Key page setup features. Page orientation. Choose between portrait, vertical for narrow data, and landscape, horizontal for wide data tables. Margins. Adjust spacing around the content to prevent overcrowding and allow space for binding if needed. Print titles. Repeat column headers on every printed page to improve readability. Steps to set up page layout. Click Page Layout on the ribbon. We'll go to this page layout. Here is the option called Orientation. We'll click on that. And here are two options like Portrait for vertical and Landscape for horizontal. Modify margins for spacing. For example, we have an option called Margins. And there are three different options: normal, wide, narrow, and you can add a custom margins as well. Set print titles if the sheet spans multiple pages. For example, we'll click on this print titles and you can add rows to repeat at top or columns to repeat at left. So it's just up to you whether you want to use any of these. Example, if printing a large dataset with multiple columns, using landscape mode and setting column headers to repeat on left on each page prevents confusion when reviewing the printed copy. And here is the option called columns to repeat at left. We'll press OK. Setting a print area. A print area defines a section of the sheet that need to be printed, preventing unnecessary blank pages or extra data from being included. Steps to set a print area. Highlight the cell you want to print. For example, I just want these two columns to be printed on the page. We'll go to this page layout, select print area, set print area. So this is how you can just customize the print area. When you just press Ctrl press P, then only these two columns will be printed. But if you clear the print area and then press Ctrl press P, then the entire sheet will be printed if you really want it to be printed the entire. Now the entire dataset will be printed in this format. So this is how you can add a custom print area layout in Microsoft Excel. When to use. Printing specific sections of a large spreadsheet. Avoiding unnecessary blank pages. Keeping printouts focused on important data. Example, if you only need to print monthly sales figures instead of an entire dataset, setting a print area ensures only relevant information appears on the printout. Adding headers, footers, and page numbers. Headers and footers improve the presentation and organization of printed Excel sheet by including information such as titles, dates, and page numbers. Steps to insert a header or footer. We'll go to this Insert tab. Here's the option called Header and Footer. We'll click on that and you can add a header in this section. You can change the layout of that as well. We'll go to this header and you have page number of the sheet, employees, and you can have multiple options. For example, I just want to have a file name as header. You can do that as well, but if you want this one, for example, I just want to go with this one. Here is the header that will be printed on every page that you really wanted to show. So you can add text in here as well. For example, Microsoft Excel. So you can have a custom text as well, and this is the date and this is page number. When you have customized the header or footer, click outside the header or footer section to return to the worksheet. Here you can see this will, when you just press Ctrl plus P, then you can see this header will be printed along with the dataset. When to use: adding document titles for clarity, numbering multi-page printouts for easy reference, including date stamps for version tracking. Example: a financial report can include the company name in the header and page numbers in the footer for a professional layout. Using scaling options to fit data on one page. Sometimes a dataset is too large to fit on a standard page. Scaling options allow you to resize content so that it prints properly. Key scaling options: fit sheet on one page, shrinks content to fit within a single page, useful for small datasets. Fit all columns on one page, ensures all columns fit, while rows may still continue onto multiple pages. Custom scaling adjusts the zoom percentage to shrink or expand the sheet. Steps to apply scaling: we'll go to this File tab, click on Print. Under Settings, choose a scaling option, like you can use this one. If you don't want no scaling, we'll click on that. But if you want to fit sheet on one page, you can use this one. And if you want to fit all rows on one page, you can use this one. And you can have a custom scaling options as well. For example, I just want this to be printed portrait or landscape or the paper size as well. When we just press OK, so that page will be printed according to this setting. Preview the result before printing. Here is the preview of every print that you want to be shown on a page. When to use: printing large tables where some columns spill onto a second page, preventing data from being cut off when printed, ensuring proper formatting without excessive shrinking. Example: if an employee schedule has columns extending beyond the print area, using fit all columns on one page ensures that the entire schedule prints neatly. Review tab of MS Excel. Spelling check. The first tool in the Review tab is spelling. Just like in Word, this checks your worksheet for spelling errors. For example, I have a sheet in here and I intentionally change the spelling of this word as this so that we can check whether it works or not. We'll click on this. Now we'll select all these cells and run the spell check. We'll click on that. Here you can see it gives us suggestion that this word, specifically this one, has incorrect spellings, and it gives us two suggestions like average or average. So we need to write average, so we'll just change it. Spell check complete, you are good to go. So it means that this specific spreadsheet does not have any mistake. You can choose to ignore, change or add to dictionary. This is especially helpful in reports, forms or anything being shared professionally. Thesaurus. Next is the Thesaurus tool. While not often used in Excel, it can still be helpful when adding descriptions or comments and you want better word choices. For example, I just want a different word for this average. We'll select the cell, go to Thesaurus, and here you can see this specific word has different alternatives so that we can use any of these. For example, I just want to use regular, or we can use common as an alternate word for average. So this is how you can use Thesaurus in Microsoft Excel. Comments and notes. Excel lets you leave feedback through new comment or new note. New comment adds a threaded comment with your name and lets others reply. For example, I just want to add a comment on this specific cell. We'll go to this Review tab, click on New Comment, and here you can see we can write as this has the highest value among all. So we'll just click outside this, and here you can see it comes with the red little arrow, and when you just hover the cursor to that specific arrow, red one, then it just shows that this specific person has commented as this has the largest value among all. So this is how you can use comments in Microsoft Excel. These are ideal for group work or when reviewing someone else's file. You can also reply to, delete or show all comments. For example, I just want to delete this comment. We'll just right click that and here's the option called delete comment. When you just press it and that little red arrow has been gone, as we don't need that comment anymore. If you want to see all comments, we just undo that and show all comments, and just it comes with all the comments. For example, I just want to add another comment in here as 20. We just want to, as this has the lowest value, so I'll just delete this comment, go to this 20, add comment, and this has the lowest value among all. We'll just click outside. Here you can see we have two comments. We just uncheck that, and when you just click on this show all comments, and all the comments will be shown. So this is how you can see all the comments and use comments in Microsoft Excel. Protect sheet and protect workbook. These tools are all about control. They let you limit what others can edit. Protect sheet prevents users from changing specific cells. For example, I just want to select this entire data and just want to protect sheet, and you can check any of these. For example, format cell, format rows, and delete rows, sort. Like a person has to enter a password. This one, for example, I just write hello, press OK. We'll re-enter that to proceed. For example, rewrite hello. Here you can see it says if you want to unprotect sheet, you have to enter a password. For example, I just want to delete a row, and when I just click it, here you can see this cells or chart you are trying to change is on protected sheet. To make change, unprotect the sheet, you might be requested to enter a password. So the person cannot delete any row or column unless or until it click on this, and it requires a password. For example, hello, and now this row can be deleted easily if the person want to delete. So this is how you can protect your sheet by using password. Protect workbook locks the structure of your workbook so sheets cannot be added or deleted. You can set passwords as we already did for extra security. It's great when you're sharing data sensitive files. Accessibility checker. Another great tool in the review tab is the check accessibility option. This reviews your file and helps make it more usable for people with disabilities. It points out issues like missing alt text or unclear labels. For example, I just want to check all this data file to check accessibility. We'll select all the worksheet. Okay, go to this review tab. Here you can run a check accessibility. We'll click on that. So it says that everything looks better and you're good to go. So this is how you can check all the data that you have entered in Microsoft Excel. This is useful for anyone preparing professional or shared documents.